This is the World on Water for January 3, 2020. First off, the Rolex Sydney Hobart race and the line honours winners. David Witt of Scallywag gives us the behind-the-scenes action. We then have a general look at the race. We wrap the Sailing Champions League. We look at the anti-protest during the Rolex Sydney Hobart race and hear from Quest and Envy Scooters. All the action during 2019 on Lake Garda. The Clipper race is on the east coast of Australia. And we look at the highlights of the last edition of the Ocean Race. Enjoy!
At dawn on day 3 of the 75th Rolex Sydney Hobart yacht race, while the main body of the fleet was transiting Bass Strait, the leading yachts were on the charge towards the southernmost corner of the course at Tasman Island. As daylight spread across the course, it became apparent that Comanche was reaping the reward for a bold and precision-based tactical move to sail a line further east than her immediate competitors. Overnight, as they tightened their course back to the rum line, it was clear that the strategy had perfectly positioned the race record holder to carve out a commanding lead. The rising sun warmed the Derwent River, and its notoriously fickle breeze was the last remaining obstacle between the Comanche crew and a deserved second line honours win. Even after more than 600 nautical miles of hard tactical racing, the final 11 miles can prove a huge determining factor in the results. As the breeze drifted in and out, owner Jim Cooney and his tactician, former Rolex World Sailor of the Year and Round the World race winner Mike Sanderson, kept their cool despite the appearance of chasing yachts on the horizon to guide Comanche home first on the water. Cheered on by a jubilant crowd, Jim Cooney raised his trophy aloft on Constitution Dock in Hobart, with one spectator in particular appreciating the effort it takes to win a race such as this.
Sydney Hobart Yacht Race is one of the most famous sporting events we have in Australia, so it has been on my bucket list for a long time. This has been a few days work to get the job done. The execution, let's say, like I say, the skipper and the crew have had a clear goal of getting that job done and executing on that. But the months and months and months of work and sort of the camaraderie that comes with that. You know, as a crew in Formula One, we have the same type of mentality to get the job done.
Wonderful for me to be able to celebrate my 10th race from Sydney to Hobart, coinciding with the 75th Rolex Sydney Hobart yacht race. Particularly excited about the way the crew worked in this race. I mean, we've been together for a long time. We did the Transpac, which was 6 days non-stop racing and a few weeks of prep either side of that. And everyone's just in tune with each other. It's a fantastic group of guys to be with, and everything went wonderfully well.
Attention now returns to those yachts still racing and looking to win the overall Rolex Sydney Hobart yacht race title and lift the famous Tattersall Cup.
Well, it's 2020. We're beside the Sydney Harbour once more with David Witt, skipper of Suntungakai Scallywag, the 100-foot Maxi that came fourth in the Rolex Sydney to Hobart yacht race. Now, it's been a big year, 2019 for you, David?
Yeah, busy, Jeff. Been everywhere. But now it's 2020, right? 2020, 2021.
2020. Big plans for this year?
Hopefully, I think we're going to slow down a little bit. We've been pretty flat out for the last 3 years, but yeah, I just caught up with SH yesterday, and he's still as keen as ever, and mapping out a bit of a plan for 2020 and 21. So Scallywags aren't going anywhere yet, you know, and we're obviously pretty disappointed with the result. Fourth, don't get any pat on the backs for fourth, but we're also pretty pleased with the way the boat went. You know, it's come a long way with all the modifications and everything we've done, and I think you'd find hard to question anyone that the crew didn't sail the boat as good as we could sail it, and went the right way 100% of the time, really. So just wasn't our day. Things didn't go our way. So
The transition on the first night.
yeah, we did pretty well, didn't we? So
Certainly did.
yeah, we got Chris Wild, our navigator, did a lot of homework, a lot of study. Gave me all the right information, and it was a pretty tricky transition actually. I think that where the Oats and the Blackjack guys sort of lost it was they tried to cross it a couple of times and bailed out and jibed, and they were too north on the transition, and we changed our plan on the run. We were going to try and be sort of middle of the field, and then the latest grid file came through and we decided where we wanted to be, and the current wasn't actually, the big eddy there wasn't where Titech said it was, but we had some satellite imaging and stuff, so we knew where it was. So we were really confident going into it, and then, you know, that sort of stuff, you just got to hold your nerve. When you pick the lane you're in, you got to hold your nerve and hope it comes good for you, and it came really good for us. So, you know, I thought once we got going in that second morning through the transition, leading the race, you know, I thought we almost had it in the bag. I thought they were going to struggle to catch us, but the forecast was it was going to come from the south-southwest and into the south, and then slowly into the east, and then end up back in the northeast, which, if you have a look at the tracker where we were, we would have been perfect for that. We would have been pretty happy to go at wind for 5 or 6 hours. But that probably happens 9 out of 10 times, and this time it was the 1 out of 10 it didn't happen, and we went straight to a light easterly and 5 or 6 knots of wind reaching, and the sea breeze filled in directly from the transition and brought Oats and everyone coming at us doing 20 knots for 3 or 4 hours.
That doesn't help, does it?
No, it doesn't. Normally the rich get richer, you know, you
Yeah,
extend and
that's
they fall off the back, and
Yeah.
this time it was the other way around. There's nothing we can do about that. It's just the way.
And what about Comanche? Where was she at this time?
So, interesting decision. So, Stan Honey had a good chat to our navigator, Chris Wild, and they basically wanted to disregard the current and just try and stay in the breeze because it's such a wide bus. And they didn't manage to do that, but they also managed to stay in the current by a bit of luck, I think. So they got through really well as well, and then they were to the east of us, which helped them because the breeze didn't come from the south, it came from the east. But it didn't really matter. Like, they're such a fast boat reaching. I mean, the fastest 100-footer in the world by far, you know.
Sure.
So by that stage we knew we weren't going to win the race. We knew Comanche were going to beat us.
Taking the beauty of Sydney Harbor, of course, and the beauty of the race of the other yachts around you, but of course you're also competitive. You've got boats that you are racing against and you want to beat and do your best against, and beat them out of the heads. Well, that's one mark up straight away, and when you start going down the coast it becomes another race again.
Once you stop trimming the sails and have a look at the coastline, it's definitely beautiful coming down Bondi, Coogee Beach, and just seeing all of the other boats and turning around and looking back. The best part of it was seeing everybody's spinnaker up and all the beautiful sails behind you.
I think you get out of it a sense of achievement. There's, I call them woohoo moments when you're out there and you're surfing along at 15, 20 knots, and there's dolphins and the beauty of the ocean. It's an emotional thing. I think you get addicted to it.
There's not a lot of things that you can do as adults with your parents and really enjoy the time that you spend together, and sailing sort of levels the playing field. We all learn off each other, we all work in all areas of the boat, so we develop our skills together, which is really nice.
I think the Sydney to Hobart really offers you the ability to challenge your boat, challenge your crew, see how far you can push yourself, and at the end of it all, a very, very good time in Hobart.
This was the Sailing Champions League 2019. For the first time, there were 3 qualifying events before the grand final, including a first ever qualifier in Palma de Mallorca at Club Nautique Arenal. Fantastic sailing conditions and crystal blue water guaranteed a perfect start to the season. Never before have so many nations and clubs been represented. 72 clubs from 20 nations competed, including clubs from Estonia, Portugal, Spain and Australia. These same countries launched their own national sailing leagues during 2019 and were eager to challenge the more experienced teams on the international stage. The 2019 season was also a record year in terms of women's participation. Overall, 27 female sailors competed in these high-performance regattas. Competing in the second edition of the Youth Sailing Champions League at Kiel Week, the youth team of Bodensee Yacht Club Ubelingen celebrated victory again. Winning the youth title earned the Ubelingen crew a wild card for the Sailing Champions League final. High up in the Swiss Alps, the final took place in strong Maloja winds of up to 20 knots. A perfect setting for the sailors and the many spectators on shore. The Sailing Champions League celebrated record viewer numbers on the website as well as on the live stream produced by Sailtracks. The Royal Sydney Yacht Squadron, already the winner of the Oceanic League, sailed a fantastic regatta in St Moritz to become the very first Sailing Champions League winner from outside Europe.
Anything to say about the decision?
The only thing that I would like to say that the racing rules of sailing are a self-governing set of rules. They have consequences whether a breach be intentional or no foul, and I think that the protest committee has come up with the right decision.
It didn't affect the winner of the race, so
No.
why was it important to you to go through with the protest?
It was important to us is that because the rules are self-governing, that if we decide to ignore those rules, chaos happens. It was important that we made a point that the boats that we sail are extremely expensive, and at some stage, if somebody gets hurt, it would be remiss of us if we didn't actually take the rules as they should be.
So how much time did you lose in having to bear away and come back?
Absolutely negligible. Negligible. However, the rule requires them to stay clear, and if for any chance we had a malfunction with equipment or anything like that, people can get hurt, very, very badly hurt. So that was the reason, and I think they understand that too. And there's no animosity between the two of us. We'll go out and we'll have a couple of beers together and move on.
Third to seventh place seems like an unusual punishment.
Oh no! Look, firstly, we always respect the decision of a jury. The international jury, has a major job to ensure the longevity of the respectability of sailing, and I totally respect their decision. We're very happy with the race. The CYCA and the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania always put on a fantastic event. Rolex is a fantastic sponsor, and the whole crew on our boat, the standard of our boat is fantastic. We congratulate all the winners, and Quest, good on them. They got third place in one of the major races in the world. But we'll be back, and we're very thankful for everyone. Unfortunately, spending all this time, on what was really something quite insignificant compared to all the problems that are happening with the fires, bushfires, and drought. And really, we shouldn't be spending time on this.
Insignificant, but clearly upsetting for you.
Oh no! Look, honestly, we're looking at the bigger picture here. We felt we were in the right. Obviously, that's why we continued on. The jury saw it differently, and again, we totally respect what they do. They've got a very difficult job, and everyone always thinks they're right, and they've got to be the arbitrators, and good on them. So look, the final result for us is actually meaningless. It was a great bonding exercise for our crew. We are progressing, and we're very happy with it.
Okay, the other skipper reckons you guys are going for beers now. Are you
Oh.
comfortable to do that at this point?
Oh no, absolutely. No, look, we're very mature about this, and we've got a dinner to go to, and I'm sure all you people have been waiting around to go and look after your own families and everything in this festive season. No, we're definitely going for our dinner now, and we'll have beers with them, and that's exactly what we do.
So no hard feelings?
No hard feelings at all, no.
Hey everybody, Robbie Nash here. I'm Maui, wishing that I was there with you guys in Torbally at the Windsurfer World Championships in Garda, one of the best places in the world for one design racing.
Might be going crazy, I don't know what to do. My heart is screaming for you, babe. And what I'm trying to say is that you make the sky look blue, even when it is gray, babe. Every time I'm feeling down, you can make it go away. Your light is shining bright on me, got no reason to be afraid. You're glowing in the dark, you're glowing in the dark, glowing in the dark. I feel it in my heart. You're glowing in the dark, glowing in the dark. Yeah, you're glowing in the dark. You can make it go away. Glowing in the dark. You can make it go away. Glowing in the dark. Can't stop looking at you, you're like a firefly. Guide me out of the woods now. Oh, I think I lost my way, but got you to help me back. Tell me what I should do now. Every time I'm feeling down, you can make it go away. Your light is shining bright on me, got no reason to be afraid. You're glowing in the dark, you're glowing in the dark, glowing in the dark. I feel it in my heart. You're glowing in the dark, glowing in the dark. Yeah, you're glowing in the dark. You can make it go away. Glowing in the dark. You can make it go away. Glowing in the dark. You're glowing in the dark, glowing in the dark.
Hi, this is Jeff from World on Water, and I'd just like to wish you a happy new year and a very prosperous 2020.